What's up, guys? I'm Hunter, and you are about to listen to that is right, the very first episode of AHJ Productions. Now, most of y'all have probably, if you're listening to this, you've probably listened to our podcast, Good Evening Football. It's been about a year since that was started, and probably about 6 months since we've recorded. We've all been really wrapped up in school and personal life, but now we're back and we're starting a YouTube channel. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe and tell your friends. Let's get this thing started. Pause, guys, real quick. One last note before we get started. So, as most of you know, it is at the time that I'm editing this July 20th, and the NFL draft happened in May. So, basically, please don't click away now because we have a lot of really interesting stuff to say. This is our first episode, and we're trying to work through it. So just give it a listen and see if you agree with our takes, and then click away if you hate us. But I don't think you will. Mr. CEO, Mr. Aiden himself, I'll get you started off. What do you think about your team's draft stock or just the draft in general?
Yes, sir. Okay, so I'm just going to say it. The Jets drafted incredibly. The draft was very smooth. I was expecting it to be like up close, like people with their faces in their camera, like Zoom call and everything. It actually turned out pretty nice. Goodell decided to change his outfits every 5 minutes. It's pretty nice. Everybody, I kind of thought he was drunk for a bit, but he wasn't. I don't think. And I think it was a good draft.
That poor man.
Like there were the obvious losers that always lose the draft, like the Seahawks and the Steelers. And I guess you could say like the Dolphins. But I don't know. I think winners, you got the Ravens, the Chargers, the Jets, obviously, because we're cut like that. But I think it was a good draft. It went really smooth. We did pretty good, I think. So that's about it.
I don't know about that.
Wise words from Mr. CEO.
Jonah, talk about the Dolphins.
Yeah, Jonah, you go now.
Give me
Talk
the
about what
Dolphins.
you think about your draft.
Do it. Come on, do it.
Aiden called my team out, so I got to go. I don't think we can be considered losers when we got the best player in the draft class.
Okay, I was being sarcastic there. Y'all got Tua, but
that's an automatic. And we got to stay at pick 5 for that too. Didn't even have to pick up. We were throwing smoke screens around for months. Austin Jackson, not the biggest fan, gotta say. But
I think the Igbenogany pick was actually pretty good.
Yeah, no one's gonna be able to pass on Byron Jones, Xavier Howard, and Noah Igbenogany. Like, come on.
They're doing what the Patriots are doing.
You got his name right first try. I'm impressed. I am very impressed.
Who, me?
I've got to say. No, Jonah. You got his name right. I'm impressed.
Who, Igbenogany?
I've been calling him Mr. Igloo.
Igloo. I like Igloo. I might bring that up now.
Oh, yeah, and Robert Hunt was pretty good.
The draft was more to just build the trenches. We didn't really get any skill players other than Tua. We got Malcolm Perry from Navy.
Yeah, he's good.
And don't forget, you guys come out of this with Matt Breida, who is a starting caliber running back.
And
y'all got Curtis Weaver.
What?
And y'all got Curtis Weaver in the 5th round.
Curtis Weaver's biggest steal. Could have gone mid-second round, 3rd round.
Easily.
Bottom of the 5th. It was worth the trade up for sure. But yeah, we built trenches. It was solid.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I'm going to take this next. Now, with the Texans, it was interesting because let me remind y'all that with the 26th pick in the draft, the Houston Texans selected Laramie Tunsil out of Ole Miss. It's just that we had to give up the pick in order to get him.
Actually, Jordan Love was the wasted pick at 26.
Wait. Oh, yeah, correct. Either way, that was going to be our pick originally. 26 would have been our pick. So with that pick, we were able to snag, obviously, one next year, too, and a second this year and next year. We were able to snag Laramie Tunsil and Kenny Stills. So we got 2 for the price of 1, and both of those guys are here to stay. So I don't regret that move at all. I will say with our second-round pick, I know at the time I texted both of y'all and I was very upset because I wanted Grant Delpit, but looking back at Delpit's tape, this year's concerning. And it's not me just saying that. It's not just sour grapes because I wanted him. It's concerning. And I think I compare him a lot to a guy like Greedy Williams, where I wanted Greedy last year. I wanted the Texans to take Greedy in the first round, and they took Titus Howard because that was a need. Just because secondary is flashy and it has all the big names, a lot of Texans fans have been giving hate saying that we should have taken Delpit or Trayvon Diggs. And while they're good, secondary was not a need for this team. Pass rush and run stuffing was a need for this team. This team last year was one of the worst pass rushes in the NFL. So getting a guy, we steal Ross Blacklock at number 40. Ross Blacklock could have easily have gone top 20 and nobody would have said anything. This is a stud of a run stuffer. He's great in the pass game. He's an even better run stuffer. And I honestly think we come out of this. We lost DJ Reader to the Bengals. I think we upgraded defensive tackle because I think Blacklock has that much potential. I think he's going to be a better version of DJ Reader. Now, in the third round, we are able to snag an edge rusher out of Florida. Forgive me for a second, drawing a blank on his name again. Jonathan Grenard. I'll give this an A+ too. This is a great pick. This is a second round talent that you get in the third round. He's a great pass rusher. He's got good speed, and again, you're filling a need at defense or on defense. This team needed pass rushers, and you get two great ones in the second and third round. So now you've got Charles Omenihu, who showed flashes last year. He is an absolute stud. He is a fifth round steal from last year's draft. You've got J.J. Watt, one of the best defensive ends of all time, obviously. You've got Blacklock and Grenard now. Martin has shown flashes. Remember, this is the kid that they traded for, they traded in the Clowney deal. Barkevious Mingo is no longer on the team. We did not re-sign him. I'm not mad about that. He was not that good. But if you think about it, you get Garen Conley in that trade with Clowney. So you basically traded Jadeveon Clowney for Garen Conley and Grenard. Well, we'll just call it, you got Garen Conley out of the deal. So the defense is solid now. Now, our next pick, if you forgive me again, I draw a blank. Gosh. I'm just going to go over the whole draft. So the next pick, I remember correctly, is Heck. You're right. Forgive me. Mm-hmm. Heck at 6'8", 311 is a swing left tackle. Now, the Texans are one of the few teams that actually run a set with 6 offensive linemen on the field. Now, obviously, because Deshaun Watson is so mobile, the option play is used a lot with us, so we'll actually swing a left tackle over in that tight end spot and be an extra blocker. So getting a guy like Heck, by the way, Heck ran, I think, sub 540, might have been a little bit over a 540. So this guy is a guy that is really talented. He's raw, but he's a 4-year starter at a Division I school. He's going to compete with Roderick Johnson for the starting job at swing tackle, and I think he'll end up beating Roderick Johnson out because this kid is so talented. He's 6'8", 311. That is massive. That is an absolute mountain of a man. So I think it's going to be really cool. I kind of want to see what he can do as a tight end too. Bill O'Brien's got some crazy plays up his sleeve, so I wouldn't mind seeing him in tight end sets a little bit, on the goal line, see him if he can catch the ball. Because he is 6'8". He's going to be just absolute stud to watch. Now, with the last pick, we did go wide receiver out of Rhode Island. Now, let me remind you that just because he went in the 5th round does not mean he's a 5th round talent. Watching this guy's tape, this kid could have been a 2nd or 3rd round pick had he gone to a bigger school. He went to Rhode Island, and he was underwhelming with the competition. This kid is a stud. He could have easily started at Clemson, name any of the big schools. He could have started. This is a very, very talented receiver. He's 6'2", 215 pounds. He's a big-bodied receiver. Reminds me a little bit of Andre Johnson. Got Andre Johnson-esque kind of builds. I'll compare the pick to when we took Jalen Strong, which obviously Jalen Strong had off-the-field issues that led to us letting him go. Cloutier doesn't have these issues. So overall, I think I'm going to give the draft. I give it an A+, which a lot of people are giving it hate. The Texans addressed every single need they needed. Secondary was not a need for this team. It was a flashy, we want this because it's pretty and shiny. It was not something that was actually needed. Roby, Hargraves, Conley, the corners are Lonnie Johnson. The corners are solid. I forgot another pick in there. 5th round, we took John Reed out of Penn State. Not really high on him. Haven't seen a lot of tape on him. All I know about him was he was a 4-year starter, ran a 4.4 40, which is something very exciting. Get a little bit of speed, more than likely because there's so many corners. I mean, we have 4 starting corners right now. He's probably going to be more of a special teams gadget guy. But either way, I'm happy to have him on the team. Now, one thing I will say, I'll close with this. So obviously, with the addition of Coulter, it probably means that Kiki QT is going to get cut. Bill O'Brien hasn't really liked him since his rookie year. So, I mean, it's disappointing because Kiki had a lot of potential. Obviously, broke a record his first game in the NFL. But Kiki has obviously had a problem with dropping the ball, and he's been injury prone. So he's more than likely going to get let go. But this Texans are standing next year. And I'm excited to see what they can do. So do y'all have anything else to add?
Yeah. Johnny, you go first.
All right, you can't give the Texans an A+, especially when they don't have a first-round pick or get one with first-round pick with high first-round pick grade. You can give them maybe a B+, maybe. But by having only 2 of round 3 and above, that's not really.
Yeah, I'll add to that.
Okay.
I'll add to that. I think.
Okay, go ahead.
I think like to have an A+ draft is to address like multiple sides of the ball and to get better as a team. And I think with this, I think if Ross Blacklock is the best player you draft, I don't really know if you can give that an A+. I mean, I understand like they address needs.
Okay.
But I'm just not sure. Like I'm not even gonna give the Jets an A+.
Okay, I'm
Because
giving them an A+
swing
in
and
the
miss.
context of the situation.
No,
We got the players we got without a first round talent. You get a top 20 talent in the second round. To me, that is a great move. To get Jonathan Grenard when we did, that's a good move. To get Coulter, who is a sleeper out of Rhode Island, that's a good move. So I give them an A+ in the context of the situation. As far as the draft as a whole, yeah, you're right. They didn't have a first round pick. They traded away their 6th round pick, which got a lot of hate. I was super confused. They traded away their 6th round pick, and everybody clowned on them and said they were terrible. And they got 2 7ths next year for it, which I was super confused about. But either way, I mean, for me, I think that in the context of the situation, the Texans did a really good job in filling the holes that they needed. I'm giving them an A+ based off of the picks that they did make, not the picks that they didn't have. And I mean, I look at a draft like the Dolphins the Dolphins almost had too many picks to me. And the Dolphins addressed every single need that they had. So I think when you look at that, I mean, I would give the Dolphins an A+ for what they were able to do. Now, I can say it now because the draft is over. The Dolphins got the best quarterback in the draft, in my opinion. Tua's body of work in the time that he played in college football is so much more than anything Joe Burrow did. It's just unbelievable. If Tua had been healthy this year, his numbers would have been very similar to Joe Burrow's just because of that offense. Tua is an absolute
to that in a
stud
second.
of a quarterback.
I'll add to that.
Well, okay.
So
go ahead.
Yeah, no, you go ahead.
Okay. So for me, I mean, Tua without an injury is the number 1 overall pick, and I don't think it's even close. I think the injury concerns and the whole situation we're in right now, the world is in, hurt Tua's draft stock by 5 draft picks. But I don't think there's any question. Had Tua not been hurt, Tua's the number 1 overall pick in the draft. Even if Joe Burrow has the season he has, just because of the body of work Tua's had. He was a Heisman candidate both years. He didn't win. He didn't win this year probably because of the injury. Again, I think his numbers would have been very similar to Joe Burrow's because that offense was better than LSU's offense. They had more receivers. They had a better running back. They had a better tight end. Everything about that Alabama offense was better than what LSU had. So, I mean, they had 2 receivers that went in the top 20. And they have another receiver that's going to go top 20 next year. Jalen Waddle is going to be a top 20 pick next year.
Smith.
Yeah, Devontae Smith is very good.
He's going top next year too.
I have just one little thing to add in.
Okay.
I could argue that Tua might have benefited from the situation that we're currently in because he wasn't gonna have a pro day. He wasn't gonna have like any kind of workout like that because he was injured, and it helped him because none of the other quarterbacks did that and proved none of them had the opportunity to go prove themselves like Tua did. So I think if they're all equal.
No, they did.
They're all equal.
No, they all are equal in that aspect. They all are, and I think what the Dolphins did was genius in that they wanted to trade up. They acted like they were going to trade up. They threw all these smoke screens, and they got their guy. They got the guy that they've wanted for the past 2 years. I'm still not sold on Joe Burrow just for the aspect that we've only seen 13 good games from him, maybe 14. Tua, you've seen 3 years of this guy is a gamer. He is a baller from start to finish. You know what you're getting with Tua. You're also inheriting a lot of injuries. It's why my personal opinion, Jonah's not going to like this, which I wish the Texans had done with Deshaun Watson with his injury history. Sit him his rookie year. Let him heal up. Give him that redshirt year to get better. Go ahead.
I think we're going to do that. We got Fitzpatrick, who won 5 teams with the worst roster of all time. I think we'll win 7 to 8 games with Fitzpatrick. And then maybe we'll do what the Chiefs did the year of Mahomes, where he'll play week 17, try and prove himself for the next year.
Yeah, I think
it would be a smart move. No, that's a very good idea. And I think giving him that year to sit will give him everything he needs because he hasn't had time off. He's been hurt, and then he's been playing immediately after. Remember, he hurt his ankle right before the national championship last year and played in the game. He was basically running around on half a leg because he didn't really have time to heal. He got surgery 3 weeks before the game. Think about that. He had ankle surgery 3 weeks before the national championship game and still played. Like, it doesn't really make sense to me. He needs time to heal. He needs time to sit and recover. So, I mean, I'll finish. I think both y'all teams did very, very well on their draft. Jonah, you did reach in the first round. I'm going to say that. Both of the second round or the first round picks that weren't Tua, those were reaches. I think y'all would have done better. Huh? You go ahead.
I fully agree with you. Yeah.
I don't think Igbenogany was a reach. I think Jackson was a reach.
It wasn't a reach, but it was
Jackson was a
not
reach.
A position of need.
Jackson was definitely a reach. Yeah.
Jackson was the reach for sure.
Yeah, because
I think there were so many better players on the board, and it didn't really make sense to me why they wouldn't take Jonathan Taylor. Well, they didn't take Jonathan Taylor because knew they were getting Matt Breida, which is genius. Because you get a guy that's proven himself instead of a rookie, and you get a 20 that's a stud. That's really just been in a logjam. That is the San Francisco backfield. They have 3 starting caliber running backs there. Actually 4. So if you count Jerick McKinnon in that. But so they got rid of Breida, obviously. But I think you did reach in the first round. But overall, the Dolphins did a phenomenal job. And the Jets, even with the pick of Morgan, y'all did very well too. Y'all got a lot of good needs out of this draft. Mekhi Becton was a very solid pick. Denzel Mims is my favorite receiver of this draft.
He's fell right into our laps. We traded down 11 spots, and he still fell into our lap.
Yeah.
I don't really get why. I mean, I thought the Packers were going to take him in the first.
Yeah.
And the Packers should have. The Packers, don't even get me started. We'll get to that in a second. Yeah. But I think that I think for y'all did very well, and I think that overall this draft for all 3 of us, it turned out very well. And I think in the context of that, all of them deserve A+ in the context of what they had and what they addressed. Now, for me, an A+ is different than overall draft grade. Overall draft grade for the Texans is probably a B, but I think in the context of what you addressed and the picks you had, all of our teams did a very good job at doing that. The number one need was offensive line for the Jets, and they got that.
Yeah. I would say the one thing I don't really like about what the Jets did, I think instead of taking like James Morgan or something, I think we could have gone like a tight end, like Adam Troutman or something like that. Yeah. Because, I mean, Chris Herndon is just so like bad off the field. Like, he's good on the field. I just don't know if he's going to play. And then Ryan Griffin, don't even get me started. That guy's trash. And then we have Trevon Wesco, but he's not very good. I think Adam Troutman could be a starting tight end next year. He's that good. But I think we addressed everything else. Getting Bryce Hall, too, is such a sleeper. That guy was so good before injury.
Oh, very good pick.
Bryce Hall was an excellent pick. And for some reason, I love the fact that we took Braden Mann out of Texas A&M. Because Locke Edwards, because Locke Edwards is so like off and on, our Australian punter. But I think we could have taken kicker too, because Sam Ficken is like not good.
Oh, he's so bad.
Yeah, like the game I went to in New Jersey, he made the game-winning field goal, but other than that, he's like a he's a terrible kicker, and he's a starting kicker. Like
Yeah.
like I think we could have signed like Roberto Aguayo, and he would be better than him. Like I don't know, but other than that, I think we addressed everything. Offensive line, receiver. I thought we were gonna go Jerry Jeudy at 11. I'm not gonna lie.
Same.
I think another way I would have liked is us getting Jerry Jeudy in the first and taking Josh Jones in the second.
Yeah.
But
Jones fell so hard.
Jones is
Jones
so good.
fell hard.
Josh Jones is incredible. The Cardinals really stole him, but I mean, I'm okay with our draft. Mekhi Becton and Denzel Mims are very good players. I don't like that we took LaMichael Pirine, honestly.
He was good.
He is good, but we have a good amount of running backs on our team, and I just don't think that was a need. But that's also what the Bears did at tight end. They have 10 tight ends on their roster. I mean, they took Cole Kmet, and they just signed Jimmy Graham, and they have Adam Shaheen. They have they let Trey Burton go. Trey Burton went to the Colts.
Yeah.
I don't understand why, because they have Ebron and Doyle.
Ebron left.
They got rid of Ebron.
Oh yeah, Ebron went to the Steelers.
Yeah,
That's right.
Ebron's a Steeler.
Ebron's a Steeler, yeah, but I mean, I think Jack Doyle's going to start over him anyway. But I don't know. I think we did well. I think the Dolphins did well. I think just a few reaches. Robert Hunt, I think, was a tad bit of a reach as well. I love the Igbenogany pick now that I look at it, because they're going, they're gonna go into a nickel set. They're gonna have 3 down corners. I think Noah Igbenogany is an excellent player. He was very good at Auburn. But I think the Dolphins did well. But
All right, guys, so what you just heard was our takes about the winners from the 2020 NFL Draft. If you enjoyed this video, like I said, please leave a like and tell your friends, and also subscribe to our channel. We really want to get those numbers up. If you want to hear the losers of the NFL Draft, just, let's say 20 likes. If we can get 20 likes on this first post on our startup channel, we will drop the losers in the next few days. Thanks, guys. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video.
Couldn't come this far, man, just by grinding. If I said I did it myself, then I'd just be lying.